The Fantom price is back to almost 50 cents again. Does it make sense to buy on this? Is Fantom recovering? Because there's also some pretty interesting news around the Fantom ecosystem. Andre Cronje, the star developer of Fantom, the programmer that everybody was talking about, is rumored to return to Fantom. Is this all true? And what other interesting things are currently going on within Fantom? We're going to look at this in this video, so without further ado, let's jump right in. Hi, so let's look at those news, right? Andre Cronje, possible comeback. Here is what you should know. Andre Cronje's departure did push the price down quite a bit. But if we dig deeper now, if we look at Andre Cronje's activity on GitHub, we can see here 3 days ago, there was activity for FUSD, so the stablecoin on the Fantom ecosystem. Now, what is this? GitHub is a website where you host your public code. So whenever you've got an open source project, it's very likely to be hosted on GitHub. This is where developers submit code changes and code additions. And Andre Cronje is doing something here. Now, this is pushing the price up by quite a bit. And we are now about to cross a moving average, an exponential moving average. You see here 2 moving averages, and these are moving averages that I have back tested. These are the ones that historically work the best. Let me show you this. So over here, we've got an Excel sheet, and with that Excel sheet, we can simulate buying and selling the FTM token starting on the 30th of October 2018 all the way to the 4th of April of this year. So this backtest is around 1.5 months old. And when we iterate here over the simple and exponential moving average, we get trading results. So this is a backtest starting with 10,000 USD and a trading fee of 0.1%. So let's look at this actually in chart form. That's, I think, a better idea. And let's look here at the results. So in black, we've got buying and holding. So over the time period, we would have gotten 400% by just buying and holding Fantom. But if we traded according to the moving averages, we could have gotten 903% with the 35-day simple moving average. Or when we look at the exponential one, 671% per annum. So that's the 21-day exponential moving average. So let's look at this over here, 21 and 35. And let's look actually at the charts here. So this is buying and holding Fantom, and this is the strategy. Very, very nice, right? This is a linear scale though, so we can't really see what's going on in the early days. Let's switch this to a logarithmic scale, and here we can really see what's happening. When Fantom was crashing, we were going short. When Fantom is rising, we are going long. So we bet on rising prices. And so over the long term, this strategy really outperforms just buying and holding. And the same is true here for the exponential moving average. Again, a strategy that tends to outperform and that also has a bit less volatility, right? The drawdown from top to bottom isn't that massive. And so you probably don't want to just blindly follow these strategies, right? You still want to look at the overall picture. But when you are using moving averages for Fantom, those are probably the best. You probably do want to look at the 21-day EMA and 35-day SMA. And this is what I mean. This is what's so interesting here. The exponential moving average is currently at 51 cents. Now this backtest has been made with closing prices, right? So when we close above the moving average, we would be starting betting on rising prices. When we close the day below, we would be starting betting on falling prices. So just crossing the moving average within the day doesn't have enough significance. But let's see where this is going. So the data is based on midnight UTC time zone. We could see potentially a turnaround here. Ideally though, we want to see both moving averages to be crossed, right? And even if we do, it's not a perfect strategy, right? We do have our fake outs as over here, right? You might be crossing both moving averages and then still come right below them again. So just because we cross once doesn't mean this works perfectly. But as a general gauge, right, this tends to protect us somewhat from this very brutal volatility within the Fantom price here. Fantom can easily temporarily drop by more than 80% in less than 3 months. So I'm probably not telling you news that this recent crash here in Fantom was also very, very brutal, right? More than 90%. But that's why we want to time this, right? That's why we don't just want to buy and hold, even though buying and holding would have given us 400%. But if you you time this somewhat, it almost doesn't matter too much what moving average you take, right? Almost all of them outperformed buying and holding. But if you have to make a bet, then simply take what historically worked the best. So that's the current situation with Fantom. It does look more bullish than, let's say, 1 or 2 weeks ago. Now, that being said, we always want to look at correlation, right? We always want to look at how is the overall market doing. And total 3 is a pretty good measure for that. So total 3 is cryptocurrency's market cap as a whole minus the market cap of Bitcoin minus the market cap of Ethereum. So it's all the altcoins but Bitcoin and Ethereum. And in here, for that measure of total 3, I've also done a backtest again for the simple and exponential moving average. If you're interested in the specific durations, you can download all of those Excel sheets here in the statistics library of the premium membership. So I've done all kinds of backtests. There's also a summary of what are the best durations. And there is the script to the code that allows you to simply just toggle between assets and always get the best moving average for that particular asset. And so this is where it looks a little bit dangerous, right? In the grand scheme of things, okay, we could say maybe we've got a long-term sideways trading range over here, and this looks like a pretty solid support, right? For Bitcoin, it's the 30K. For total 3, I don't know what kind of number that is, but yeah, this does look bullish. We are not crushing through this support, but it appears that we have to go sideways for a little bit longer, or we have to shoot up quite a bit. So let's say 15% or so until the entire altcoin market can become bullish. And since cryptocurrencies are so highly correlated to one another, since they tend to go up and down at the same time, a bearish total 3 or a total 3 that doesn't increase much, it obviously would also have impact on Fantom. That being said, time seems to be on our side because the moving averages, they are declining right now. And if we simply just hold the line right now, if Fantom doesn't suddenly crash, we might just as a function of time be crossing those technical indicators that tended to work well in the past. Now, how much risk versus reward do we have? This here is now the Fantom price relative to Ethereum. So this is the US dollar price, this is the Ethereum price. I do like to look at relative valuations because that's in the end the reason why we get into something like Fantom, right? Fantom is smaller than Ethereum, Fantom has potentially more risk. So you want to get this additional risk compensated somewhat. And so in relative valuation to Ethereum, we've got a potential risk of maybe 28% or even 40%. So that's quite a bit. The potential reward though is also pretty high. A 4x or more than 300% increase if we reach the all-time high again. In US dollars, that's of course a bit more because Ethereum would be increasing as well in a potential bull market. Now, I'm rather risk averse, right? I don't really like this total 3 situation yet, so I'm not yet jumping into buying FTM, but I do like to look at interesting stablecoin returns on the Fantom ecosystem. So this is Beefy Finance, an auto compounder to get return on various assets. And in here, for example, we can see that the Polygon stablecoin, Mimetic or MAI, or the liquidity pool here of Magic Internet Money versus USDC, they return quite nicely. They return 28% or 26% respectively. They have been that high for quite a while. So this is how I currently tend to use Fantom. Simply look for interesting DeFi opportunities. And if you can get that kind of a return on stable coins, right? And this is not just staking returns a la UST, right? This is generated by trading fees on decentralized exchanges. So there's no Ponzi-nomics going on here. If you can get that kind of a return, there's no need, in my opinion, to be too aggressive. But it all depends on how much of your portfolio you're willing to risk in a certain point in time. Buying Fantom now, of course, is way better than buying it a few months back, but be aware of the volatility. I wait until the best moving averages get crossed. Now, if you're wondering how to get these kind of returns, or if you're looking for even better DeFi plays, then don't forget to check out the premium membership. It's currently $49 US per month. If you decide to sign up yearly though, you do get 2 months for free. I won't stop publishing free content here on YouTube, so if you haven't yet subscribed, don't forget to do so. And there's also a free Telegram channel. Simply search for Bitcoin Strategy Channel within the Telegram app. You might also want to look at the recent development around Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin does move the market and in the end also has an influence on Fantom as well. So don't forget to check out this video. A lot of value there as well. See you over there and thanks for watching this one. Bye bye.